Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In today's video, I wanted to have a little bit maybe different kind of video than what you might be used to on my channel. I wanted to have more of a discussion today. Obviously, we've been doing off-season rumors, speculation, all that stuff for the past couple of weeks, but as that stuff starts winding down, we need to start looking forward to the next season, trying to break down, analyze, predict, or just even talk about, which I think is really fun, what's going to be happening next year, what some of the more, interesting storylines are. We need to start creating that content, creating those storylines, building up these things for the start of the LCS, LEC, just competitive League of Legends season. And in this video today, one of the more interesting storylines that I want to talk about is Fudge, now a mid laner for Cloud9, and whether or not I and all of you think he's going to be successful and what some of our reasoning might be. So before we get into that, I just want to ask real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that subscribe button. I would appreciate it so much. We are really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're going to be very close, but it's been my goal the whole year. So if you're not subscribed yet, I would appreciate a ton if you did that. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So I guess spoilers, I think personally that Fudge is going to be a good mid laner. I don't know if he's going to be a great mid laner. I think there is obviously, there's a lot of variables that go into this. This is why it's hard to break down, and there's a lot of things that I don't know how they're going to work out. Like, one, ultimately, League of Legends is a team game. I don't know how good Cloud9 is going to be. This roster has a ton of potential, but they have a lot of question marks as well, Fudge being one of them. So just kind of like on the spectrum of how well I think Fudge could do, I think he could be great. I think he could be like an S-tier mid laner. I think it's absolutely possible. We saw him be a very good top laner this last season, both domestically, maybe not so much at the beginning of the season, but later on, and even internationally, he was pretty good. And now he has a year more of experience under his belt, a year more of getting used to Cloud9, a year more of getting used to some of his teammates, a year more getting used to the organization, Los Angeles, all that stuff going on. Obviously, he just signed a new big contract. The organization believes in him. They're trying to build around him. But just independent of how well Fudge is going to do in the mid lane, again, his team is going to have some effect on that. But one of the main reasons why I think Fudge has an awesome chance to be a very good mid laner, to be a successful role swap, whatever, is this guy is very mentally tough. Last year, he came out at the lock-in tournament. He's replacing Licorice's time with Cloud9 didn't end that good in 2019 summer, or 2020 summer. It's so hard keeping the year straight. But in the 2020 summer, Cloud9, Licorice, that stuff didn't end well. But Licorice was a beast for Cloud9 when he was there for much of his time. And Fudge was replacing him. And Fudge came in, and during the lock-in tournament, he was like almost straight up trolling. Like he did not look LCS level. He looked like he was just not doing very good. And even though Cloud9 still did good and Cloud9 still found some success, Fudge, this young kid, new face, fans don't know him, the team doesn't really know him, the LCS doesn't really know him, he's getting abused, he's getting bullied, everyone's flaming him, everyone's trash talking him, everyone's saying how Cloud9, lost the offseason, made this terrible mistake, whatever. Fudge, despite all of that, was able to take everything that was going on and just continue to improve and continue to work and continue to grind and not get tilted and be able to ignore all the stuff that people are saying, the irrelevant opinions, all that noise around him, block it out, focus on what he needed to do, continue to get better, and develop very damn fast. To go from where he was during the lock-in tournament and even spring split to where he then was by the end of the season was crazy. And that's awesome. And yes, he is a good young player that should be very moldable and should develop very fast and all that. And I think that is an awesome thing that's going to help him out in the mid lane. Obviously, he's going to be put in some uncomfortable situations. He's going to have some bad games. He's going to int some games. There's going to be some matchups that he's not insanely comfortable with, that other people have been playing for, like Bjergsen, has been playing certain matches for 7, 8, 9 years, whatever. And Fudge is going to have been playing them for a couple of months, maybe, by the time they start matching up. There's going to be some bad moments, there's going to be some bad games, but I do think he will rapidly improve fast. I think he has the right mindset. I think he has a great personality for doing something like this, and I think that definitely plays in his favor. Another thing is that we have already seen, this isn't a super strong point, but we've already seen Fudge in a mid lane situation and scenario. This is week 4, day 1, summer split 2021, Cloud9 against Golden Guardians. Cloud9, I think you can see right here, they did like a little role swap, or lane swap, where we had Fudge actually going to the mid lane, Perks going up into the top lane on Lucian, just to kind of, it was just the strategy they decided to pull out this game. And yeah, Fudge was in the mid lane. Now, things didn't go bad. They didn't go amazing. I think at 10 minutes, I think I have it here. At 10 minutes, he's, down like 9 or 10 CS, but he's 101 on Viego. But yes, this isn't a great, example for him playing mid lane, but it just shows, he's gone to mid lane before. It hasn't gone disgustingly horrible. It's not like he can't play mid lane. It's not like he can't understand it or anything like that. This game went fine, but yes, he was laning against a Gnar. Yes, he was laning against Solo, I believe, at this point. But Cloud9 did pull something like out this before. I do believe that they went on to win this game, I want to say. Cloud9 ends up winning this game. So, so far so good, at least in the LCS. Fudge 1-0 as a mid laner. So I do think he has that going for him, which is kind of interesting. And then another thing, looking at his profile page on Oracle Elixir, this guy's a massive champion pool, and obviously in the top lane you're playing a lot of melees, you're playing a lot of bruisers, a lot of fighters, a lot of the traditional top lane champions, and that's what Fudge's champion pool looks like. But obviously different champions come in and out of the meta. You're gonna have some different picks and stuff, and there is actually some insight I think we can get by looking at some of the champions he's been able to play. Obviously Lee Sin was a champion we saw mid lane at certain points. He has a 50% win rate in 8 games on Lee Sin, but I definitely remember him at especially MSI having some very good Lee Sin games. So if that pick ever comes back in a meta, that's something. Renekton is another champ we sometimes see in the mid lane. Aurelia, but some of the more interesting stuff that I wanted to look at was some of the more traditional mid laners that he's played, like Sylas. He is 3-0 on Sylas, and that is definitely going to be a champion that is always going to be in the mix in the mid lane. Nico, kind of that ranged, mid laner vibe. I know Nico has probably been seen more in top lane and professional play overall, but still, the positioning, the movement, the abilities, casting that you have to see from a lot of traditional mid laners, that kind of positioning and style is something that I think, is going to tend towards the mid lane a little bit. Lucian, champion, we're going to see a lot of. He has Vladimir. Rise, he's 1-0. Vladimir, he's 2-0. Lucian, he's 2-0. Nico, he's 2-0. Sylas, he's 3-0. 0-1 on Akali, but he has played some of these other champions, and obviously this guy, champion pool is not an issue with him. He can play all different kinds of champions, all different styles, and again, that's something that I think he has going for him. Now, obviously, mid lane is an entirely different role than top lane. You're fighting off ganks from two sides, from the jungler and the support. Everyone wants to come kill you. Yes, you have that short lane, but you're playing immobile champions with no escapes, and you're the center, the focal point of the map. You also need to work on synergies with your jungler and support, which I think he's going to have great synergy with Blabber, and I think they're going to pair up well and really work well off to each other. But, he's going to have to work on synergies with both Isles and Winsome, trying to get that stuff down, learning all the different champions, all the different matchups, just kind of different positioning. Obviously, the lane plays out a little bit different. There's a bunch of different things going on, and that stuff is just going to take time. I think he will be able to get a lot of that stuff down. Some people are able to get it down easily. Some people it takes a little bit longer. Some people never get it down. Some people, I guess, are just top laners or mid laners or whatever. But again, this is a young player, which I think is another thing he has going for him. This is not some guy who's been playing in the LCS for 10 years. I'm just a top laner. I know all this stuff. I'm rock solid here. It seems like he has an open mind, willing to try stuff out. He's got the right mindset, right skill set. He's obviously a talented mechanical player. I think he has a lot of things going for him. Now, again, saying just how good he's going to be, especially in this first season, especially in this first split, that's hard. But by the end of the year, if Fudge isn't a very good mid laner, especially as far as LCS level is concerned, which, the bar isn't super high, I would be very surprised. I do think that this is an interesting role swap. I think it's going to be a massive storyline the whole season, but I do think overall this is a interesting, good move for Cloud9, and I'm excited to see what Fudge can do. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Fudge in the mid lane. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.